Alright, next up is, the last film we're reviewing this week is Solitary Man. It stars Michael Douglas in his best role in 10 years since Wonder Boys, which was one of the biggest Oscar snubs I've ever seen. Now, here he plays probably the most scummy character he's played since probably Wall Street, and it's kind of ironic with the sequel coming out later this year. But this is not Wall Street. As a matter of fact, this is the story of a very successful once successful car dealership owner named Ben Kalman, and he's played by Douglas, of course. And it's told that there is an abnormality on his EKG. As the doctor says he wants to order tests, Kalman drifts away along with the sound of his doctor and the world around him in a really, really beautifully shot scene. He is completely and utterly alone for the first time, perhaps his entire life. Now, 6.5 years later, Kalman is now divorced from his real estate queen wife, played by, surprise, surprise, Susan Sarandon, who's becoming the William H. Macy of this decade. Seems like she's on my show every week. And much like most of her movies I've reviewed so far this year, I like this one as well, and she is also very good here. And he has distanced himself from his daughter, played by Jenna Fisher, best known as Pam from The Office, and she is fantastic here, really showing that she's got a great career ahead of her in movies. And he has taken up with sultry daddy's girl, Jordan, played by Mary-Louise Parker, who I greatly miss sometimes, and in hopes of securing a dealership for his first incident embezzlement scam he perpetrated in the interim that really screwed him over. Now, in an odd way, things start to look up for Kalman when he hesitantly agrees to take Allison, played by Imogen Poots is her name, weird name, Jordan's daughter, on a trip to check out a college in Boston, and ends up betting her. Yeah, of course, this toss in the hay, and of course Allison's public admission of it to her mother just undoes everything for Ben, and everything just falls apart, and he ends up making a job working at a small diner or deli or whatever in a college town with his buddy Jimmy, played by Danny DeVito, in maybe his best role since Man on the Moon. Now, see, this is the type of role Danny DeVito should be playing. The guy who offers the right insight at the right times, and is just a supporting character. He's very good on the TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but in film he's really struggled as of late. Now, sadly, this is his most promising option in life. Now these occurrences in the trajectory of Solitary Man are not new, nor are they original. But see, they are approached from a unique, I guess you say, aspect of things. Whereas, I guess you say, the great cinematographer, his name is Alwyn Kuchlar, I can't pronounce that either, is really effective at rising the glimpses of this film. And Michael Penn, who of course had a big hit back in 1989-1990 with the song No Myth, and is also Sean Penn's real-life brother, really does a great score here, kind of like the score Bob Dylan had with Wonder Boys. And it's just so really effective here, and it really helps the movie flow along. Now, Boston and New York have rarely looked so boring, but the play it safe attitude that the writing team of Koppelman and Levin have really done here had just really relays their screenplay onto screen. It doesn't rely on the background. The background is merely there to look the mood that the movie is portraying here. And they've done it well with movies such as Rounders, of course a great film starring Matt Damon and Edward Norton many years ago, and most recently The Girlfriend Experience, which they actually get a decent performance out of an actress who's an adult film star. Now, again, as I said, Douglas has his best role since Wonder Boys here. He is just a cold, callous, unapologetic, unrelenting, just heinous type of a person that you really don't want to like, but you can't help but enjoy his character, at least from an entertainment standpoint, due to his witty charm and his outlook on certain things. It's his ability and wisdom to look at the world around him, even though he knows he's done it to himself. Now, again, from just terribly awkward things like instances with his daughter, and a really weird flirtation with a sweet girl played by Olivia Thirlby, of course, best known for her role in Juno, second reference I made to that movie. And she was also really good in a film called Snow Angels a couple years ago. And she is also dating one of his younger friends, played by Jesse Eisenberg, of course, of Zombieland fame. And he is really good here, too, still channeling that Michael Cera type energy, but he's a little more vocal. Again, you get all the bravado of this character. I mean, he's, it's pretty much what we see in most ladies' men play, but when it's someone like Michael Douglas doing it, you just cannot help but enjoy it. You can tell Douglas is having a great time making this character his own, and that's what he does great as an actor. Now, Michael Douglas has taken a lot of criticisms for the way he does things. Some say he's too repetitive, some say he's too the same. I don't think that. I think just because he looks and speaks a certain way doesn't make him the same. He makes these characters effective. Watch a 1996 film called The American President, where he is just fantastic playing the President of the United States. He really gives something, a type of character, the President of the United States, a type of heart and charm we never see a president in any movie have. And that's what I love about it. So check that one out if you can find it. It's pretty easy to find, and it's on TV quite a bit. And it also has a great supporting cast with Martin Sheen and Michael J. Fox. But again, back to the review here. Now, again, the whole cast is really gives Douglas a lot to work with here, and they're a talented crew. And again, like the previous film I just reviewed, Mother and Child, this really works in terms of not building up the actors who are in it, but more so the story itself and just having the actors and their talent carry it. That is very important in a film. Solitary Man is one of the most enjoyable experiences I've seen in a film this year, and I couldn't help but enjoy pretty much every minute of it. So I give Solitary Man 4.5 stars out of 5. And that is it for this week's edition of Bill Chase in the Movies, but I will be back with more big spring hits, including Shrek Forever After. Will this franchise ever end? Who knows? Also, MacGruber, the latest on the Saturday Night Live franchise. Oh, will someone help us? And but hey, it might be good. Who knows? It is one of the funnier skits they've come up with lately. And also a documentary called Bloodstained Memoirs, another wrestling documentary, the first one I've seen in quite some time. Will it live up to the certain great brilliance of films like Wrestling with Shadows and Beyond the Mat? Who knows? We'll have all that and more. And if you want to support me, please join my Facebook group, Bill Chase in the Movies, as it's spelled on the title up there. And we'll chat about anything. I'll respond to your feedback. Even if it takes me a little while, I'll still respond. So yes, please join the group. Please send me your feedback. Discuss anything you want. I love discussing movies. So please let me do what I love. Alright, so until next time, I am Bill Chase, and I will be at the movies. Goodbye, everybody.